I work in reality. I only work in reality. I don't work in fake situations. So that's why it didn't work on me. You put me in a real ocean with real sharks, you'll get your real reaction. You put me in a room when you walk in the door and you sit down in the chair and you put some shit on your fucking face, I know I'm in a fucking chair. I know I'm in a room. If you get that psyched the fuck out, you need to study that more than that. If you are on a high wire because you're afraid of heights, but you're sitting firmly on the fucking ground, you need to study the fact that you're doing something wrong. Don't study the afraid of heights. Study why the fuck do I know I'm on the fucking ground in a fucking chair, but I'm afraid of what's on this screen. So I don't allow anything to go beyond the truth. Yeah, I'm like that with everything. Because why sit back in the back and think about, let me watch you go first. You can watch me go first. Everything I need is in my mental lab. Everything. Because I'm in constant study of myself. And I know what needs to be conquered because I'm constantly going through what I don't like, what I'm not comfortable with. You know, like I know, and only I can fix these problems because I have to face these problems. So I have a rolling log on what needs to happen. So I'm really good about being accountable about, okay, you need to be better here, you need to be better here, you need to overcome this, overcome that, and I do a good job of doing that. So, like, for instance, let's say you have no races. Let's say you have no classes, no nothing. There's no purpose in your life. You know, people need to have purpose to get up. They need purpose to perform. You need to get to a point in your life where there's nothing on the docket. There is no 5K. There's no I'm going to get into school to be this or that and still perform to the highest level. Because what people don't get is one day that thing's going to come up. And if you're not constantly performing without purpose, you're not going to be ready when the time comes. It's this magical thing, purpose, that we're all looking for. But what's funny about it all is that we need these things to perform. But we don't take a second to realize the purpose is always there. The purpose never leaves us because the very purpose is you. You are always the purpose. There may be another purpose, like being a SEAL or going to college or whatever, but the main purpose in life is you. So if you wake up in the morning and you don't want to do something, you don't care enough about yourself. And that's what you need to really research is, man, why am I not doing this for myself? Because that is the number one purpose in life, is to better oneself. So that's the only purpose I fucking need. So the reason I get up every day, even though there's no race or there's no school, or there's nothing in front of me, is because I have pride in myself. Keep talking. I need you to keep talking about what you were just saying, because I know every motherfucker ain't gonna do what I'm gonna do. So this is how you level up. That's how you level up. I know there's a whole bunch of people with that right there. That fires me up. That makes me fucking happy, what you just said. That brings joy to my life right there.
Why?
Because I know there's so many people that have the ability and just refuse to get off that couch. Refuse to study a few more hours. Refuse to go deeper, to go further. And that's where I gain the advantage. It's so easy to be great nowadays, my friend, because most people are weak. Most people don't want to go to that extra mile. Most people don't want to find that extra because it sucks. It's miserable. It's lonely. You talk about that you were kind of, lonely by yourself. I was the same way. And that used to hurt me growing up. Now I fucking thrive in that shit. That's the only place to be. I mean, I think that comes from overcoming. A lot of people, wonder, how did you become this? How did you become so vulnerable? How are you doing a podcast now when you were this kid? You overcame things. You fought them. And now this is what happens. This is on the other side of overcoming. You become very, very powerful when you overcome yourself. All those things you once cowered from, you were afraid of, when you face them eye to eye every day, you now become a person who has a great podcast. Because you have to want it. You have to want to be better. And it starts off with, you have to have pride in yourself. You have to have pride in yourself. You have to have, there's something about you, whether it's your last name, whether it's just the smallest thing. You have to be proud of yourself. And if you have no pride in yourself, I can't give it to you. I'm very proud of myself. That's why when people said, you no way you can do better than Can't Hurt Me. Roger that. We'll fucking see. It's that pride that wakes you up. And now I'm not talking about bad pride. The attention to detail for the human being I want to do. I call this thing, like, I want to be the standard. I want to be that guy. Like, every place I went in the military, there was this ethos about how this place is, how we're going to live, how we're going to represent ourselves. And I walked around and I saw that most people didn't live up to that ethos. Like, if you go to whatever company, they had this mission statement on how we want to run our company. I made one for myself on how I want to be. And that is why, if people can make up a mission statement, an ethos in which they want to live by, and every morning you wake up, you hold yourself accountable to that mission, not a company's, your own. Make up your own mission statement. What do you want to be in life? And once you do that, now you can work with somebody to get better. You can work with yourself to get better. But until you know what you want to stand for, you will always just be sitting down. You'll never stand for anything. And when you hear that from somebody who gets it, you know it because you can look in their eyes. You feel that energy, man. It connects immediately. They're out here to get a job done. Roger that. So, you know what? One thing about him is that he's made it, and he's all about everybody else making it. There's one thing that he believes in, is that there's enough food, enough cake for everybody out here to eat. So there's a lot of people in this world who don't want to see you make it because they think you could take a piece of their pie. That motherfucker's like, look, dude.
Pie for everybody.
I got 14 pies, bro. One for every motherfucker here. And so he's all about people making it. And that's something that a lot of us can, learn from. That people think, oh, I made it, I'm gonna hold on to it. I'm not gonna help anybody else out. Yeah, I mean, I really didn't know him that much back then. But he really is, to me, the Oprah of the modern day. He's the Oprah of the modern day. That guy's just has made so many people known to the world. Never. We just DM'd. And I was like, I'm gonna give it a shot in the dark. The guy follows me. He knows about me, whatever. I was like, this guy's so big, man. He ain't gonna fuck it. So I was DM'd him, man. Within like 20 minutes. Hey, man, what's up, brother? Sends me a voice message in DM. Been following your work, man. Love what you fucking do. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, yeah, no problem, man. I'll hook you up. I'll be more than honored to hook you up. And in the audio book, what people don't know is I left him alone. I was like, hey, man, thank you. I appreciate it. I want to bother you. Go back to doing the great work that you do. You're so busy. So after the audio book, he was like, hey, brother, you want me to, read what I wrote for you for the audio book? And I was like, yeah, that's great. That's how the idea came about. It was actually Rock's idea for him to do the blurb. So then I got Joe Rogan and I got my mom to read the blurbs. So that came from him. I wasn't gonna put the blurbs in the audiobook, but he was like, hey man, I got a studio right here. I'll blast it out, send it over to you, and we'll get it done. So after this podcast, I probably won't do another one for a very long time. And I did my book, came out on the 6th. It's now the 16th. I did my 10 days of the book, and now it's done. And now it's going back to the lab. So now I go back to firefighting, go back to finding another level of David Goggins. And that's done. Quiet areas and finding more of myself, finding these spaces I haven't, discovered yet in my mind. And I really love that about life.